Hello, Facebook friends. I don't know if anybody's going to join me. I think a few people mentioned that I'm a little late. How you doing, Milton? I want to do a Facebook Live today. I wanted to cover a couple of things for some of my customers that seems to be relevant. Work from home since we've got this virus, and looks like everybody's going to have to be working from home or remotely or video conferencing, doing different things like that. So I wanted to do a quick Facebook Live and go over a few options, a few things that we do on a regular basis here, but everybody else may not do it. We do it so that we can support the customers remote into their computers so that we can help them. But those are the same tools that people have to use to do remote access. So I'm going to cover several topics. I'm going to cover video conferencing. We're going to talk about remote desktop tools, and we're going to talk about VPN. So first of all, video conference tools. I'm assuming everybody has used, of course, everybody's used FaceTime, and they've used Google Duo on their personal phones. As far as some people have used Skype. Skype was a really popular program for a while, then it went away. Now it's becoming popular again, just so that Skype will run on a tablet, on an iPad, on an Android tablet. You can use it on a cheap Android tablet so that you can remote in and see what, talk to people, and so that you can have a presence. I have one customer that's using an Android tablet, and she keeps it in her office so that if someone comes to meet her in her office and she can't get there, they just set the tablet up next to her chair, and she can remote in and talk to them as though she were sitting sitting there. So Skype has a couple of neat features. All of us are familiar with it. Skype comes with every Windows PC. One thing that's neat about Skype on Android tablets is that you can make it auto answer. iPads, you cannot make an iPad Skype auto answer. That means that on an Android tablet, you can set up an Android tablet so that it's sitting in a room and it is on, plugged in, and then you can remote in and see what's going on the Android tablet at any time. You can see who's in the room. They can see you, and so Skype works really nicely on Android tablets. iPads, on the other hand, will not auto answer. In fact, no Apple device will auto answer any VC tool. So that's something that you might want to be able to take advantage of. You could run over to the local electronic store, pick up an Android tablet for $50, $75, and use that as a video conference tool. So know that Skype auto answers on an Android device. Skype does not auto answer on an iPad or any iPhone device or any Apple computer. So that's their policy. Skype will let you simultaneously talk to 25 people at the same time. Now, I haven't successfully done that. I've only talked to 5 or 6 people on Skype, but supposedly you can bring 25 people up and have them all on a square on your screen, and everybody can talk and communicate. Skype for Business is a step up from regular Skype, and supposedly can let you communicate with even more people. However, Skype for Business is being rolled into a program called Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams sort of incorporates the old, and I can't the Yahoo Instant Messenger. It sort of has the same features as Yahoo Instant Messenger and Skype, as well as video, Yahoo Instant Messenger and Skype. So you can chat, you can do an instant message, you can store files for your company offline. The only problem with Skype for Business and in its current iteration, Microsoft Teams, is that it's very expensive and only not something that a person can use. It's Skype. It's really something that only a corporation can take advantage of. Also on the for the phone and on the computer, you've got Google Duo, and you've got Google Hangouts. The Google Hangouts, some people thought that it was going away, but there's but it's not going away. There's actually three programs that you can use on Google. Your Google Duo, one-to-one video calling. You've got Hangouts and Meet, which allow you to talk to multiple people. Hangouts requires that your Gmail account is a business account, and that costs $6 per user per month. So, say for example, you want to say you've got a team of 10 people. Each of those people will have to have an account, and it's going to cost you $6 per person per month. However, you can send invitations to video conference outside of your organization. So, the most prevalent tools, of course, is FaceTime, and then and then you've got your Skype, your Google Duo, your Hangouts, and then there's a few other tools. Some people are familiar with them. You've got, what we're using now, FaceTime. We've got Slack. There's Zoom. There's something called Blue Jeans, Rabbit, Cisco WebEx. Many corporations have been using Cisco WebEx a lot for the last, say, 8-10 years. Cisco WebEx does a good job of video conferencing, but of course it's pricey. So these are some of the tools that you can use if you need to go home and you have a computer sitting in your office. You need to be able to go back and forth electronically without having to go into the office. You can grab a tablet, stick that tablet in your office, plug it in, throw Skype on it, tell Skype to auto answer, and then you're just as good as being there. Those are some of the things I wanted to talk about as far as video conference. One of our I've been using video conference quite a bit lately because I'm on a board of directors of a nonprofit here in Chicago, and our challenge was that we couldn't get all the board members couldn't get to the board meeting all the time, and so we had to, if you can't have a quorum, then of course you don't have a meeting. So what we were trying to do, first we were trying to just let them call in, but really you really have to see what's going on. You really can't do a good job calling in and listening and trying to hold a board meeting. I don't even know if that's legal, but with the so what we've been doing is we've been using a combination of things. On one screen, we may have 2 or 3 people calling in on Skype, and then we've got the eyeball people who may not know how to use Skype. Maybe they're older individuals and not tech savvy. So what we'll do is we'll set up 1 or 2 laptops at their desk. That way, we've been able to have a quorum and keep business rolling. So. With all these things, they all work similarly. They are, but they're different prices. Let me see here. FaceTime is, of course, one-on-one. Zoom will let you go up to 50 users. Google Hangouts will let you go 25 users. GoToMeeting, which is part of the GoToMyPC package, will let 3 people video conference at the same time. Rabbit, which I have not used, lets 25 people access communicate at the same time. And Cisco Web Apps will let 3 people communicate on the screen at the same time. So that's sort of the let me see, I might even have some prices on these, but I'll come back to that. So with the video conference, you can see, you can feel like you're there, but then you also need to access your equipment and the resources at the office. And so now I want to talk about various remote desktop tools. Remote desktop started a long time ago when people were using dial-up modems. And the program that everybody used when we used to use have the dial-up US Robotics modem, that program was PC Anywhere. So that was my first experience with a remote desktop. In fact, they didn't even call it remote desktop back then. Since then, of course, with the internet tools, there's a few that have kind of become the most popular. You've got, of course, remote desktop, which is built into Microsoft Windows PCs. That remote desktop works well, but it does require that you have a lot of technical background because you have to do stuff to your router so the router allows you to access your computer over the internet and let you in through the firewall. So remote desktop is nice within the company. So if you are like the IT person, you can remote desktop and take over Mr. Smith's computer when he has a technical issue. But remote desktop is hard to make work when you're not on the premises. And remote desktop also has a lot of vulnerabilities, and hackers have learned how to take advantage of remote desktop. So even, say for example, you have a computer in your office and you've been accessing it remotely so that you can get work done when you're not in the office. You set up remote desktop, you get the IT person to do it. It's working fine. The challenge is that when you open the firewall to use remote desktop, some hacker in Albania they all seem to have learned how to exploit remote desktop. And even though after you connect to your PC, you're still challenged with the same username and password that you would be using if you were sitting in front of your desk. But somehow they've been able to overcome the password challenge, and next thing you know, they're remoted into your computer, and that's when these ransomware viruses, where your entire computer is encrypted, and the same thing that happened to the city of Atlanta, that shut down the city of Atlanta. So remote desktop it is nice, it is free, it comes with every Windows PC, but remote desktop is vulnerable to hackers who have learned how to exploit it. Also, you've got some other programs. You've got LogMeIn. LogMeIn is great. I use LogMeIn quite a bit for a long time, but LogMeIn is expensive. LogMeIn costs $79 a month if you're just accessing your one computer from your home office. So $79 a month, that could be pricey. LogMeIn could be used, and I'll tell you about the other programs. So say, for example, you want to do some remote work from home, but it's not something that your IT department is cool with, or maybe you don't have their support, or maybe you don't have an IT department. Well, LogMeIn is one of the tools that will let you install it on your computer in the office and access it remotely. As long as the computer is on, you'll be able to access it, and you won't interfere, and you won't compromise the office's network. You won't interfere with anything they're doing in the office, in your local office network. So LogMeIn is cool like that, but still it's $79 to just access your one PC and your desk. And if you want to go to more PCs, then you have to pay $359 a year. You've got TeamViewer. TeamViewer has you can load TeamViewer and use it for free for a while. TeamViewer works well. I like TeamViewer. LogMeIn works well. I like LogMeIn. LogMeIn, of course, lets you do remote printing. So if you remote into your computer in the office, but you need to print something, with LogMeIn, the document will print on your computer in your home at home. So that's a nice feature with LogMeIn. TeamViewer does not have remote printing. TeamViewer, though, you can use for free up to a point. And after that, after a while, they have some sort of tool where they can figure out that you're really using it for business, and they start sending you guilt screens saying, hey guys, I know you're using our software, and we know you're a business, pay us. And so TeamViewer is free to use up to a point. As soon as you get comfortable with it, then you're going to have to start paying. The TeamViewer is $25 a month per seat. So if you got to access your computer on your desk, you don't need to talk to your local your IT people. You load the app, and then you go home and you can remote in, but you got to pay for it after a while. Go to my PC. I used to use that quite a bit, like LogMeIn, but it got pricey. It seems like all these programs they reel you in with the free stuff, and then after you've been using it for a month or two, then you start getting these skill screens popping up. Advertisements. Buy our software. Thanks for using us, but you need to pay. That thing. So Go to My PC costs. Works well. They all seem to work pretty well. Of course, LogMeIn does remote printing, but Go to My PC is $9 per month per piece for one PC, and it will go up to $280 if you need to access multiple PCs. But of course, only people like me need to access multiple PCs because remotely, an individual who's just trying to work from home. $9 a month is not that bad. Finally, Zoho has a nice remote access tool, and it's inexpensive. I can't put my finger on the price because I use a lot of services from Zoho, and I'll have to get back with you on the price, but I believe it's about $8-10 a month, and I access up to 25 PCs. Of course, you only need to access one. And you know what? Zoho is free for one PC. So Zoho Remote Access is a great work from home remote access tool. So you might want to look into it. So, and finally, there's one last one that I haven't really used. If you have Google Chrome, they have a feature that you can turn on called Chrome Remote Desktop. It's free. I haven't used it, but I'll report back after I've been able to use it and play around with it. So those are things I thought that I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit. I know everybody's getting pretty freaked out by this virus, and I see that they're telling people that the state of Illinois just told all their employees, and in a joint conference with the mayor, president of Cook County, and a few other dignitaries, that they're recommending that people work from home. So keep in mind, if you need some further information, recommendations, or have some questions, you can hit me up on Facebook, instant inbox me, and I'll respond. There is another way people work from home, and these are the people that have a corporate issued laptop. And usually those corporate issued laptops have a feature called the VPN. VPN is Virtual Private Network. The way VPN works is that you boot up your computer, and then with the use of apps and software, your computer connects to the network at your office as though you were in the office. So it's almost like extending that Ethernet cable out to the door, down the street, around the corner, and then connect to your computer. Come in your house, up to your office, and it's almost like extending that wire all the way from your office system. Now, most large corporations use VPN. Small businesses can use VPN. Usually a VPN router is going to cost you about $250. So in a small business, what would happen is that you would have your Comcast cable modem. You would have a router behind it, in front of it. So you've got your cable coming in from the outside world into your cable modem, and then your cable modem is connected to your router, and your router is then connected either directly to your computers and printers in your home office, or to your switch, and then that is connected to your computers and printers and devices in the house. Usually in that case, people turn off the routing feature in the cable modem or the DSL modem, and they put it in a setting called IP pass-through. So now you've got your VPN, and almost all of those VPN, there's these newer, fairly pricey routers for a home. You're in the $100 range, $150, maybe $250 range. Almost all of them have the software package to allow you to do VPN. So, but for the most part, I think that people who are going to work from home, they're going to be using the video conference tools that we talked about, and they're going to be using the remote desktop. I did not mention one of the most popular remote desktop tool that people are using on Macs, which is BombGuard. So if you have a Mac in your office and you are using a Mac and you're using a Mac at home, and you need to remote into that Mac in your office, then BombGuard will probably be the program that you would want to use. I don't have any pricing for that, but I can get it. If you have any questions, inbox me again, and I will